I also just want to give a couple points of information. Canada Day marks the day in 1867 when the three separate colonies of Nova Scotia, the United Canada, and New Brunswick were united into a single dominion within the British Empire called Canada. Like Brockton, Canada is a very diverse community. Immigration is valued and encouraged. They consider themselves, quote, a cultural mosaic as opposed to a, quote, cultural melting pot. Due to all the vibrant cultures that live in Canada, it is considered one of the most multinational countries in the entire world. I also know that Canadians are known for their politeness, respect for the indigenous culture, punctuality, environmental consciousness, and also respect for the beautiful natural spaces that make up the country. Canada is extremely progressive. Canadian policies such as abortion, euthanasia, same-sex marriage, and cannabis, an emphasis on cultural diversity, large-scale immigration, abolishing capital punishment, publicly funded healthcare, higher and more progressive taxation, efforts to eliminate poverty, and strict gun control are social indicators of the country's political and cultural values. Canada is one of the countries in the world that has 2 official languages, meaning all the business and educational documents are legally required to be both in French and in English. Many Canadians are indeed bilingual and multicultural. Canadians love hockey, of course, but the activities, especially in the cold winter months, are cross-country skiing, ice skating, ice fishing, and snowshoeing. So at this time, I would ask Troy Clarkson, the city CFO, to please come to the podium. Troy was asked last year by the owners of the Boston Red Sox to sing the Canadian National Anthem at Fenway Park, and he is going to sing the Canadian National Anthem.
Thank you, Mayor. Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all of us command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north strong and free. From far and wide, oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
Thank you, Troy. That was phenomenal. I would say that's even better than what you did at Fenway Park. We always want to thank Troy. He always will lend a hand with some vocal accolades. At this time, I would love to have Senator Mike Brady to the podium, please. Senator.
Thank you. And like the United States, Canada is very diverse as well. I was able to visit Montreal several years ago, and I visited Toronto, Ontario, which is one of the most diverse cities in the whole America. So it's amazing, you wouldn't think of it. But I am part French-Canadian as well. My grandmother was Saint-Amand in Quebec, and they came from France. There's 2 cities in France, and we're in Quebec and Montreal. They moved down here to Massachusetts because this is where the jobs are in the construction drywall business. So I'm very honored to be here, and thank you to the mayor for honoring the Canadian national flag, and to Troy Clarkson with his great rendition of the Canadian national anthem. I think he puts me to shame singing there, so thank you. God bless you all. God bless the United States of America.
So as many of us know, Brockton was the shoe capital of the world, and many folks traveled from around the world to come to Brockton to work in shoe factories. A lot of Canadian folks came down here as well to better their lives here in the city of Cheer. My own great-grandparents on my mother's side came from Ireland, but they didn't have the money to come to Ellis Island, so they actually, Annie Sweeney and Joe Butler came in from Nova Scotia. They made their way down. So there are a lot of connections. I know Zach and a lot of his grandparents are very similar, coming over from Ireland. So at this time, before we proudly raise the Canadian flag, I'd like to read the official mayoral proclamation. Whereas on July 1st, 1867, the three separate colonies of Nova Scotia, the United Canadas, and New Brunswick were united into a single dominion within the British Empire called Canada. And whereas in the 19th century, Canadian day laborers, small farmers, and tradespeople began to cross the border in large numbers as the American economy experienced its industrial takeoff during that era. Whereas throughout history, people of Canadian descent have contributed an immeasurable amount of hard work and value to the economic and cultural landscape of the United States of America and the city of Brockton, Massachusetts. Whereas this day and throughout the year, the city of Brockton, the city of champions, is proud to celebrate the contributions of individuals of Canadian descent, and we encourage citizens to learn more about the cultural traditions of the beautiful country, the neighbors up north of Canada. Now therefore, I, Robert Sullivan, as mayor of the city of Brockton, proudly proclaim today, July 1st in the year 2024, in the city of Brockton as Canada Day, and I humbly urge all residents and business owners in our fine city to please join me in observing this special day. And it is signed and sealed today, the first day of July 2024, by myself, Robert F. Sullivan. At this time, is there anybody here of Canadian descent? Come on over, we're going to have you proudly raise the flag.
Great. What's up, COW from Canada?
Canada?
From Nova Scotia. And I have something from the government of Canada. He was killed in one of the worst camps in Japan. So I'm so grateful for you for doing
Absolutely,
this.
yes, please.
Which one do I?
Doctor's going to share a family story now that all of you should hear.
I actually just looked for this in my room. My name is Dr. Eliza Wilson. I live here in Ward 4, and I am of Canadian descent. My grandmother was born in Nova Scotia. In fact, my third cousin, Alice, is about to turn 105. She lives at the Sisters of Marillac charity in Wellesley. So we are very much connected to Nova Scotia, and I brought here with me, I have a note from the House of Commons from Canada. It's the Book of Remembrance that they display in Canada with my nanny's cousin, Angus Jacquard, who was a POW in Canada and was actually killed in one of the greatest atrocities in the camps in Japan in World War II. And so thank you so much for doing this, and I would like to present this here, a book of remembrance as we acknowledge Canada and the sacrifices of all our veterans.
Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you.
Thank you very, very much. On behalf of the City of Brockton, we proudly take this as a gift from Dr. Wilson. We will work with Kelly Young, Veteran Services Agent. We will display this at the War Memorial, the new renovated War Memorial, and it will be there in perpetuity. So thank you very, very much. Thank you. So at this time, I actually, because of that gift, I would like to give this I'll give this to you.
Well, thank you.
You're very welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. So again, at this time, I want to thank all of you for coming here. You know, Brockton is better when we work together, and the fact that we always memorialize and reflect upon worlds that some people think are large, but really it's a small world when we have so many different countries that call Brockton home. Just today, myself and Sydney Merrill and Courtney Henderson, Director of Immigration Services, and Troy Cox, the CFO, we met with 24 Nelson Mandela Fellows upstairs in conjunction with BSU. There were 24 different African nations that have learned about the city of Brockton, and they wanted to come here and talk further about it. So today we honor Canada, and I know we will continue to honor respectfully, a lot of different nations and ethnicities that make Brockton so special. So God bless the Canadian people that have called Brockton home, and all the business owners that have done so much. So have a great day, and thank you very much.